Papasalamat po kami actually. It took a president to actually, in a way, tell Mindanaoans the truth. Kasi, Mr. President, sa totoo lang po, this is probably my nth power forum. Napakarami na pong power forum, napakaraming familiar faces na po dito. Nakikita-kita kami tuwing palapit ang crisis, tuwing power forum. Pero never nasasatisfy ang Mindanaoans. Unang-una dahil there is a feeling of non-transparency. Wala pa pong sumasagot sa mga tanong ng mga Mindanaoans. Ano po ba talaga yun nga, yung mga minention nyo na, installed capacity, bakit po yung capacity? At kayo lang po yung sumagot nun. In the forums that I have attended, wala pa pong sumasagot nun ng katotohanan. Kaya nagpapasalamat po kami. Hindi naman po unreasonable ang taga Mindanao. Mindanaoans are very reasonable for as long as you give them the truth. Yun nga po, Mr. President, I hope this is just the beginning. Dahil yung usapin po na ito, usapin na po namin for the past siguro 5-6 years. Ilang years na? Ilang years na tayo? Mga 7 years na po na pinag-uusapan to sa Mindanao. Pero wala pa rin pong solusyon. And all of those that you have already actually said and promised na may funds na for the Agus and Pulangi is actually very welcome sa aming lahat. Dahil at least we will be looking forward to something. Hindi tulad nung mga datihan na wala po talaga kaming pinangahawakan. Ngayon, Mr. President, I am hoping yung minention pong one-stop shop para dito sa Mindanao. Kasi sa totoo lang, Mr. President, again, ang feeling po ng mga taga Mindanao talaga, napakalayo po namin sa Malacanang, napakalayo po ng aming gobyerno. Kaya pag may nag-a-apply po ng mga permits o kahit yung mga maliliit po ng mga producers, tulad po ng sinabi ni Secretary Almendras kanina, because Mindanao is an agricultural sector, napakalaki po ng potential for biomass. Marami po liliit po ng mga negosyante at hindi po players ng industriya ng energy. Kaya nga po, kinatof niyo ako? Hindi naman po siguro. Kaya nga po, but most of them, Mr. President, cannot and does not know how to form a company. They do not know how to go about selling their electricity that they're actually already, meron po silang electricity, lalong-lalo na po yung mga agricultural biomass. Meron po silang production. Meron pong sobra. Pero hindi po nila mabenta sa mga electric cooperatives dahil wala po silang papeles. At wala pong nag-a-assist sa kanila. So yun po. Sana po ma-address po yun.
Madam, excuse me, so that we can have more time.
Good afternoon.
There are some other questions. So we'd like to request the President to... Sir,
Can I?
please.
Short answer lang dun. We'll instruct the Executive Secretary to form that one-stop shop. It's being done already. Yung, sa pag-ibig, yung ginawa ng DTI, But we will instruct them to get back to you as soon as they finish their one meeting to come up with the timetable of when it will be implemented.
Okay, we will just give priority to the private sector. We were given an order here to give priority to the private sector. So we call on, after that, Congresswoman Abad, may we call on Viking Lugarta from the Renewable Energy Development Caucus. Please make it short, sir. Please.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I admire you for standing your ground on the application of fundamental economic principles and not wanting to be politically correct. But I do disagree with your characterization of the feed-in tariffs as akin to the take-or-pay provisions. Let me explain. The coal people get capacity fees and they are allowed to pass on movements in coal prices to the off-takers, the cooperatives or the utilities, and eventually to the customers. Now, the hydro people do not get any capital recovery when there is no water. It's even riskier. So you cannot say that it is akin to a take or pay provision. For the biomass guys, they take the risk of prices in feedstock, while the coal guys are able to pass on all the movements of coal prices to the consumers. That's all, Mr. President.
Just a quick response. You can produce a kilowatt hour of energy from either source at equal terms, from renewable and from the fossil fuels, the natural gas. Ilan naman ang point ko? Yung to get them to produce, given the current state of technology, you have to provide incentives. And the incentives is what makes the cost. If you were to pass it out to the consumer, that much greater. Ilang point.
In fact, Mr. President, biomass and hydro are almost at parity with with coal. And in a few years' time, we will be much better, but we just want some secure revenue stream to the feed-in tariff. So it's nothing at all like take or pay.
Okay, may we call on Congresswoman Abad, please?
I just wanted to siguro inform regarding the group in terms of the review of the EPIRA. That's what we have actually been doing. We are reviewing the implementation of EPIRA so that the amendments, if there are necessary amendments, will not be knee-jerk reactions. There are actually 3 bodies of Congress that are actually doing that. The House Committee on Energy, the JCPC, we have members from Mindanao, and I'm sure the Senate Committee on Energy as well. So, yung pong sinasabi ni Governor Del Rosario, we're actually doing the review and of the implementation of the EPIRA so that we may be able to craft the more appropriate and studied amendments. So, in regards to the Agus and Pulangi, I think there is a House resolution that seeks to defer the privatization. I guess this is really more to be able to crunch the numbers po, to really look at what would be the most visible. Kasi as you said, Mr. President, that we are really looking for sustainable solutions. And I think the deferment of the privatization will give way to more studied proposals and crunching of the numbers. This is just to review, to share with you what we are doing in Congress, both in the House of Representatives and at the JCPC level. Marami pong salamat.
Just to add, hindi ko nasagot yung kanina. On the part of the executive, we also want to review the EPIRA law. Okay? It's time to reevaluate whether it has attained what it was supposed to attain. Correct.
Okay, we'd like to call on Grand by Ali Jaffa of the United Nations Habitat the Permanent Official Representative for Indigenous Peoples.
I would like to greet everyone here in this room. Good afternoon, especially His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Philippines. Maybe all of you here are not familiar of who I am. I would like to ask, who are the stakeholders? Well, Mr. President, we are the legitimate stakeholders, the original people of Mindanao, as the Grand Bae of the Manobo tribe, and the Bae also of the Tausug, and the composition of the tribe people of the Philippines, would like to offer our lands for a solution of energy, of power generation in our country. I would like to extend my help with the support of my people. I brought one of my daughters who did not agree with the geothermal power plant somewhere down North Cotabato. But now, because of trust, support from my people, they are giving me the responsibility. You know, it's really hard to imagine. I already brought, without the permission of the government, but with a clean heart, I brought Chinese investors already during the Kidapawan Day festival, who had built more than 100 power plants around the world. And this is
Madam,
true. Yes.
Are you making a statement? I'm sure that the President has appreciated it.
Yes.
Because of time consideration, we would like to give the floor to other person.
Okay. I would like to ask, tell one more thing. Mr. President, are you willing to think outside of the box? Yes. Are you willing to work with traditional
ma'am.
power
Yeah, okay.
circle?
I
That's
think
my
the President
question.
got it already.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you, thank you. The President is nodding his head. May we now recognize Congressman Joey.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you for being here. I won't waste your time. I just wanted to let you know, because I have to say this. There's an impasse and very good reasons for keeping EPIRA, for not keeping EPIRA. We're hitting this intersection between public service, dealing with public debt, private corporations providing a service and being able to get a reasonable profit. I'd just like to make a point that my father, Vice Governor Joe Zubiri, whom I believe you know personally, had come up with a novel idea that if need be, because Pulang is in our district, in the district I represent, the 3rd District of Bukidnon, if need be, the local governments, the provincial government, the municipalities, the cities, and the electric cooperatives have thought about getting together and banding together and buying Pulangi themselves. Of course, they will have to borrow the money, but they will take the risk. And they wanted to do it. And of course, in their case, it will not be a profit motive. It will be A, providing electricity in the province and in the surrounding provinces, and B, because they're doing it, profit is not the primary motive. So just to seed the idea, please, that this could be a third option for whatever was necessary. Thank you very much, sir.
Can you put it in writing so we can study it, that particular proposal? We need to see the specifics.
I believe, sir, that what my father had mentioned to me is they can do it because of the clause that allows them economic enterprise.
Yeah, but again, what you intend to do, how do you intend to
Yes, sir.
finance it, etc.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
For our last interactor, we may have Dr. Menchi Ambalong, one of our presenters earlier.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Thank you very much for giving Mindanaoans your captive market. Captive attention pala, Mr. President. Now, I was one of the speakers this morning representing the consumers and the women's sector. The consensus points that we reach out of the 6 discussants are the following. 1, no to privatization of the Agus Pulangi. Mr. President, you mentioned about inefficiency. No, because even if the NPC people are given the least amount of money from PISAM, Agus Pulangi earn a minimum of 7 billion pesos annually. And so, in other words, in terms of funds, to rehabilitate, re-operate, maintain Agus Pulangi, there is this fund. So much so that the people of Mindanao, we have discussed that, and presented by Congressman Climaco.
Can you directly go to the point?